Homebuyers now need to earn $107K annually to buy the average U.S. home.
The U.S. may continue to see an increase in home prices in 2023 and 2024.
Rent prices are finally slowing down for the first time in 18 months.
And buying a house on a Thursday could be your best bet.
From PropLogix, these are your top 4 stories in real estate this week. Homebuyers now need to earn an annual salary of $107,000 to buy the average home in the U.S. This nearly 46% increase compares to just $74,000 a year ago, according to Redfin. As we know, wages haven't seen that same kind of increase. Hourly pay only increased by 5% over the last year, and inflation has made things even tougher.
So with inflation and mortgage rates soaring, what will the future look like?
Well, homebuyers are definitely going to struggle a bit, but thankfully we saw 30-year mortgage rates decrease last week after inflation finally cooled a bit. Home prices also started declining as well. For comparison, before the pandemic, the average salary needed to buy a home was more like $60,000, but in 2021 we saw it shoot up drastically, and it's continued to do so since then.
U.S. home prices are predicted to remain where they are, according to economist Lawrence Yun of the National Association of Realtors. As long as mortgage rates and inventory levels stay the same, he says we may actually see an increase in home prices.
What else is Yoon predicting for the market?
He says home sales will decrease by 7%, and the national home price may increase by 1%. Yoon thinks some markets might experience price gains and others will see declines.
So when does he think that we'll see the market turn around?
Not anytime soon. Yoon thinks the housing market will make a strong rebound in 2024. He's forecasting a 10% increase then in home sales and a 5% jump in the national median home price.
Although affordability remains an issue, rent prices are finally slowing down across the country. Realtor.com's October rental report showed rent prices slowing to just 4.7% year over year. This is the slowest pace in 18 months across 50 of the largest metropolitan areas.
Okay, so they're slowing, but they're not actually going down.
Right. So overall, rent prices have increased 23.5% since October of 2019. However, October of this year was the 9th consecutive month of a slowed pace, and in the last 3 months, we were down to just single-digit increases.
So there is some hope for renters out there.
Yes, thankfully. If rent prices continue to slow, things will be looking up for renters. But those renters that are looking to make the jump to homeownership are probably going to have to wait. Inflation and the housing market are just making home buying too much of a challenge. The report showed that only 32.3% of renters are considering buying a home in the next year, which is down from 34.6% back in July.
After looking at the 50 biggest metros in the country, Zillow found that homebuyers in search of a good deal should be looking on Thursday to place their offer.
How much can a homebuyer really save, though?
Zillow says that price cuts are typically around 3% of the listing price, averaging about $11,000 on a typical home. They found that these price cuts usually happen around the 3-week mark after the home was first listed.
What else should homebuyers know to save some money?
During the week, prices will typically be cut on about 18% of listings, but that share drops between Friday and Sunday. Now, if you're really looking for the best deal, buyers should wait until July or the first week of September, when you're going to see the most price cuts all year.
That's it for 4 stories this week, but the news doesn't stop here.
You can follow us on Instagram, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and go to our website for all the latest in real estate news.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you here next week.